Welcome to a new episode of Depreciation Nation, and behind me you are going to see a new for 22 Mercedes-Benz S-Class. We are filming live at Luxury Motor Cars out of Cincinnati, Ohio, but before we get into the content, why don't you hit that subscribe button at the bottom of your screen so that you don't miss some of the most eclectic automotive content on YouTube. When one sits in a new for 22 Mercedes S-Class, you are absolutely immersed and surrounded in luxury. This particular car is loaded with all of the bells and whistles and has an MSRP of just over $131,000. What does $131,000 get me? It gets me massaging seats, it gets me heated and cooled seats, it gets me an electrically adjustable steering wheel, it gets me a V8 that is just shy of 500 horsepower, and it gets me a level of class and status that honestly aren't available short of a Bentley or a Rolls-Royce. Mercedes has built the high-end luxury car for everyone. So the question is, why would someone buy a car like this? The answer to that question lies in cars like this right here. Now, this car is a 2001 S430, also currently in Luxury Motor Cars inventory. This car has just over 80,000 miles on it and has been lovingly cared for many years. Question being, why would somebody buy that when they can have this? Mercedes has held the benchmark for many years when it comes to large luxury automobiles. As you can see, I am in the back seat here. I have plenty of legroom, and this car conveys a status like no other. Now, granted, this isn't a Bentley or a Rolls-Royce or an Aston Martin Rapide or anything remotely like that, but what this is a luxury car that is built to stand the test of time. Mercedes has long been known for building high mileage tanks. There's the 250,000 mile club, there's the 500,000 mile club, there is the 1,000,000 mile club for these cars right here. Now, the car we opened this video with is just a hair over $131,000, and this car right here with 80,000 miles on it is only $10,000. We are surrounded in premium materials. We have all of the amenities minus the heated, cooled, and massage seats and some of the tech that car in there has. But in this, we have the same status and we have the same reliability. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this car for a drive right here, and we're going to tell you how it feels 20 years on. So we had a negative comment a while back regarding the way that we use depreciation to play off of cars, and the fact that many automotive bloggers wouldn't necessarily like the way that we use the term depreciation. And I tried to address that as eloquently as I could, but the bottom line is the car we are in, which is the 2001 S430, is the very definition of depreciation. Now, we had a Maserati Quattroporte on the channel last week, and that is ultimately what inspired that particular comment. But if it wasn't for depreciation, I wouldn't be able to afford to drive the cars that I drive. And what depreciation does is it opens up the ownership, the driving, and the overall experience that was formerly reserved for well-heeled individuals. Now, we are in this S430, which is the Benz baby V8, and we have 80,000 miles on it, and to be quite honest, this car feels every bit as good as it felt 20 years ago. 20 years ago, we were, well, I guess it's 21 years ago now, we were invited to come move the press cars for the Formula One event in Indianapolis. And I was 20 years old at the time and driving brand new versions of this. And as you would imagine, I was about as happy as any young adult would be driving what was then a $110,000 car. And so fast forward 21 years, and now we're in 2022, and the car we started this video with is $131,000, and you can have this car right here for $10,000. And so the question is, what do you get at 90% off MSRP? Actually, it's more than 90% off of MSRP. And the answer to that question is a lot. Interestingly enough, a lot of the 21-year-old controls are very similar to the brand new car in the beginning of the video. We've got the same controls on the steering stalk minus the gear selector. We've got the same seat controls here in exactly the same location. We don't have a digital dashboard. We don't have cooled seats. We have heated seats. We still have a V8, and we have a car that will go 250,000 or 500,000 miles. And yeah, with 21 years of age, you're going to have some suspension issues pop up, and you're going to have probably some electronic issues eventually pop up. But having said all of that, you saved $100,000, and you're still in a Mercedes S-Class. Interestingly enough, I have driven this generation, I have driven the next generation, and then we were just in the current generation. And the process of this car is evolutionary and not revolutionary, meaning that they had such a great recipe so long ago that they have been smart and they've not changed it. They have not done anything with the styling that's revolutionary like BMW did back in the early 2000s with the Bangle 7 Series. And this car has just aged so very well. Now, in no way, shape, and form are you going to mistake this with anything of the current offering of Mercedes, but what you get with this car is something that only a connoisseur could appreciate. With 80,000 miles, this car is barely broken in. The seats still look and feel brand new to the touch. They feel every bit as comfortable as the new seats. All of the controls work. Our tech is, of course, dated as 20-year-old tech would be. But we still have a very similar driving experience. I know that I am in a luxury car. I don't have 500 horsepower, but the 275 to 300 horsepower I have is more than adequate. I don't have digital readouts, but I still have very nice displays. I have buttons as opposed to touch screens. I still have the same visibility out of this car that I have out of the newer car. I have a lot of the same safety nannies in this car that I have in the new car, and I get all of that for $10,000. Service is still going to cost exactly the same. Fuel economy is going to be about the same. I don't have massaging seats, but I do still have a very premium experience. Door sills are almost unchanged. The new car has some ambient lighting in the doors that, of course, this car wouldn't have. Ambient lighting wasn't even really thought about back then at the level that it is right now. But I am driving this car around and I'm happy. It of course brings back old memories, as most of the cars on this channel do. But the fact of the matter is that 21 years on, this car still drives and performs exactly like it did 21 years ago. And honestly, out of everything that I have driven lately, I was pretty excited about this one. The cabin is still very quiet. There's no creaks, there's no groans. Other than the fact that it's been raining today, the exterior still presents incredibly well. And I feel cool driving it. We still have premium sound, 21-year-old premium sound. We have a decent transmission. We have a level of simplicity that the new cars don't have, meaning that you're probably going to have fewer long-term problems than that car will have as it ages. But then again, Mercedes is known to build some of the most reliable luxury cars on the planet, so those displays have probably been tested and those electronics have probably been tested, and they've probably been found to be relatively robust. And so, yes, I'm happy in the 21-year-old car. And so that is Mercedes S-Class, both current and past. Both cars are loaded with amenities. Both cars have proven track record of reliability, and both cars convey a status that really can't be had with too many other brands. Which one's for you? Only you and your budget can decide that. Both cars are available right now at Luxury Motor Cars out of Cincinnati, Ohio. A link to their inventory is in the description. Hit that subscribe button if eclectic automotive content interests you, and we'll talk to you soon.